Hello everyone, Jaime Manntilla here, and in this video I wanted to explain to you what is a context window, okay? We actually get this question a lot, and this topic confuses a lot of people, especially when it comes down to using AI, testing chat windows, and also just doing AI and LLM testing overall, okay? So I'm just gonna walk you through a tool that I built to actually help you visualize what a context window is, okay? So I'm just gonna walk you through the tutorial. Then I'm going to put that information in the post. That way you can actually try it yourself. So I'm just gonna start here on the start tutorial. And as you can see here, it explains to you what a context window is. So AI context window is a maximum amount of text that an AI model can process at once. Think of it as a model's working memory, okay? So same for us on the daily basis, we can only get as much information as possible within the day, but after we're exhausted or it's too late, maybe we cannot think right, okay? So it's kind of the same concept, same thing happens with AI. So on the AI model. So here, fill in the window. Let's add some messages and watch how the context window fills up. So as you can see here, you're going to see the chat. The chat is going to start filling up, and some of these messages have the amount of tokens that is used whenever we're sending that information. And tokens is pretty much a calculation of points or vectors that it is added to the specific amount of words that you're sending through the chat window, okay? So this one, hello, how are you, is 5 tokens. This one is I'm well, thank you. How can I help you today? This one is 13 tokens, and so on. And you can see here that the maximum context window for, let's say, ChatGPT 3.5 is 4,096, and we've used so far 26. So in this specific scenario, we're not going to fill up the window or the context window. I'm gonna show you that in the other scenario. But again, this kind of takes you and helps you understand the context window helps you design better AI applications. So when it comes down to creating better applications, you have to consider which large language model you're using, because each different language model or different model has different size of the context window. So that's one thing to consider. And another thing to consider is, like, when you're testing or creating these AI applications, you actually need to know how much context window does that model that you're using for the app has before it starts hallucinating, right? Because once you fill up that window, then some of the information is going to start getting truncated, which is not going to be in the memory anymore, which means that it's not going to be able to go back and recollect whatever the conversation you had, and then it may start either giving you wrong information or just hallucinating overall, okay? So that's pretty much this. This is going to take me to the scenarios. I have a short conversation, upload, document, conversation, and then, or scenario, and then a long conversation. I'm just gonna go here to the upload document. There's a sandbox that I'm gonna walk you through as well, because it's gonna show you the different models. But for this one specifically, I'm gonna make my head smaller here. The learning objective here is to see how documents consume capacity, understand why document size matter, and experience overflow with questions. So in this case is, imagine uploading a research document. So we're going to simulate an uploading of 3,500 token documents. This is roughly an equivalent of 10 pages research paper. So I click next, you'll see that this chat window is getting filled up with that specific text. That one has 3,451, right? Which is very close to the 4,096 token limit. And you'll see that now it's 83% filled up. Now, or roughly, yeah. So here I'm gonna click next again. Then user sees the impact of large documents. As you can see here, there's around 655 tokens left. And then it asks another question, which is, what is the main conclusion of the paper, which is 11 tokens. And then once we continue and it gives us the response, then the overflow and the all messages have been removed. So as you can see here, there is a system prompt, which is pretty much the one that gives the rules and the directions to the application. Then you have the user message, and then you have the assistant, which is the one that responds. And here specifically, just for the visualization purposes as to why it is important for you to keep this in mind. So if I go up in the chat, you can see here that now that the specific chat message, it is grayed out simulating that specific information got truncated. Okay. So with that said, I'm just gonna go into the sandbox. This one is pretty cool. So this one has a add message. So let's say let's do this, and then I'm gonna copy these multiple times. Oops. I just want to add a space, otherwise it's just gonna look not good. So as you can see here, it tells you the amount of tokens, the amount of characters, the amount of words. So we can start with that one. This one is 43 tokens total, and you see that the chat windows are starting to fill up. Now I have these quick add greetings or prompts. But before we do that, we have the tips here. So let's try different model sizes, add long messages to see the overflow, remove messages to free up a space, and watch the token counter. So let's say we start with a greeting, that's 5 tokens only. A response is only 13. A question is 11. You know, you have this one that is 200 tokens. Actually, it says 200 tokens, but it's showing 83. So I'm gonna have to debug this application. But again, just for the purpose of this context and to show you what it looks like, I'm gonna keep on clicking to show you when the context window is going to be filled up. So in this case, it's 93. So we're 93, but we also see here that we have different chats. So if or different models. So we have the 3.5, which is 4,000 tokens. The 4 is 8,000. So as you can see here, now it's green, and the context window now has more space. For this one specifically, you have 16,000. So as you can see here, this is only 23%. And if I go up, you can see here that all the chat or the information that we sent in the chat, it is available. If I go back to 03 and I send another one of these large ones, you will see that now some of these messages or information that is in memory has overflow or has been removed from that memory. Okay, so you can see that here. If I changed the chat, then if I go back, you will see that it is still available. So again, these are things to consider whenever building an application, and also when testing a Gen AI based system. So I built this just to help people understand how it works, and hopefully this is useful. Again, this is something that needs to be reviewed, tested. So any feedback will be great, appreciated. And I will just look into this small issue where it's just showing 200 tokens, but it's actually sending less. But no big deal. That's part of the experience, kind of leveraging AI to build your own tools, help you understand things better, help you how to test AI applications, and also help you to become a better tester, a quality engineer. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.